I'm Angelo. I'm a teacher from Toronto and I really love to cook. Today on Easy Recipes by Seafood Crate, I'll be making tuna and salmon poke bowls. This salmon from Seafood Crate is from Scotland. It's organic and sustainable. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this fillet, and I've split it in half here, and we're gonna start to cut it into some small dices. So what I like to do is simply cut across the grain, and you're gonna try for about 1 inch to 1/2 inch equal dices. So this recipe is actually very simple. If you're hoping to impress some friends at a dinner party, it's really easy to make. There are a few steps that you'll have to follow, but it's nothing the home chef can't tackle. So we've diced our salmon and we've set it aside in a bowl. And to save time, I've already pre-diced some tuna. And what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna put these aside in the fridge to keep cold and get ready for our next step. So in addition to fresh quality seafood, poke is all about the toppings. And what I have here is some dried seaweed, and you can find this anywhere. It's relatively inexpensive, and it'll add a nice textural topping to our poke bowls. But we have to prep this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna soak it in some cold water for about ½ hour and set it aside and get ready for our next step. So the next step in our poke bowl recipe is creating the dressing. The dressing is known as a ponzu. A ponzu is a citrus-based sauce comprised of lemon and lime juice, some soy sauce, some rice wine vinegar, some mirin, and some sesame oil. So we have about a 1/4 cup of lemon and lime juice, and all you have to do is simply put it in a bowl. Add your soy sauce, and we have about 4 tablespoons of soy sauce. We have about 2 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar. We have 2 tablespoons of mirin. And we have only 1 tablespoon of sesame oil. You don't want to overdo it with the sesame oil because it is quite strong and pungent. So once you have your ingredients all in one bowl, you just simply whisk it up. So our seaweed has been soaked and it's rehydrated and it's ready for our next step. Essentially all we need to do now is grab a little bit of soy sauce and we're going to top it with some sesame seeds. And maybe about 2 tablespoons. And these are white sesame seeds. You can use black, you can toast these up for some extra flavor if you like. It's completely optional, whatever it is that you like. Our next step in our poke recipe is creating some more of our toppings. What I have here is some jalapeno, and I'm gonna roughly chop them and add them to our cucumber. Another topping for our poke bowl is going to be some pickled cucumber. What I'll do is I'll quickly give some cucumber a chop and set that aside for later. I have my cucumbers, jalapenos, a little bit of rice wine vinegar, some salt, and some water mixed in a bowl. We'll set this aside for about 10 or 15 minutes. Our next step is to actually marinate our tuna and our salmon. So I'll grab our prepared ponzu and quite simply just add the seafood into the ponzu. First goes the salmon. And of course our delicious tuna. And all you need to do is give it a quick stir and set it aside. For those of you who may be concerned about eating raw seafood, what you can do is you can always freeze your seafood for about 24 hours, but of course, Seafood Crate seafood is sushi grade. Another option for toppings is avocado. Very simple to cut and add into our poke bowl. Easiest way to cut an avocado is with a sharp knife, go around the edge, twist off, and you have 2 halves. With the back of your knife or the front of your knife, whichever you prefer, chop it into the core, or the pit rather, twist, and you're good to go. So to cut up your avocado, all we're gonna do is simply dice it in its skin and then use a spoon to scoop it out. Now that we have all of our ingredients prepared, we're ready to assemble our tuna and salmon poke bowls. So what I've done is I've cooked some sushi rice in my rice cooker. That's all ready to go here in a bowl. And it's simple. You just have to assemble all the ingredients you prepared. So we'll start with our tuna and our salmon. Just give it a quick mix and add it to your rice. The ponzu sauce you can actually drizzle over the rice as well as a dressing because it'll add some flavor to your rice. Then from there, it's just assembling your toppings. We'll start with our seaweed, pickled cucumber with a little bit of jalapeno. I like to arrange almost like 4 corners or in different areas of the bowl. It just adds to the visual appeal of the recipe. I have some diced avocado. And in addition to our ponzu dressing, what you can do is you can take a little bit of mayonnaise with a little bit of sriracha to create an additional layer of creamy texture. Just give that a quick stir And you can add as much or as little as you like, depending on how spicy you like your dishes. As a final topping, you can add flying fish roe. This is completely optional, and you can find this at any seafood store. I like to put just a little dash on the top, adds a little bit of visual appeal, and as a final step, you can just top off your poke bowl with some sesame seeds. And there you have it, a very impressive dish with not a lot of work.